Share split. When we say share split, what does it mean? Share split, it is a corporate, action where a company divides its existing shares into large number of what? Of shares. Increasing what? Increasing the total outstanding shares. Now, what does this mean? This means when, example, a company holds shares, maybe 600,000, they can decide to increase the number of these shares, or they can decide to do what we call share split. So when they split these shares, it will increase the number of these shares. So when they increase the number of this share, it doesn't affect the market value of the share capital. Understand? So the share split. Now we have types of share split. We have one forward, we have reversal, and we have stock dividend. Now our emphasis will be 1 and 2. Now let us look at the forward split. What this means is, so if the company owns 600,000 shares, unit price of the share is 2 cedis. And then they say that they should do what? Forward split 2 or 1. What does this mean? This means the company have decided to split their shares into smaller units. That's what it means. So it means that they should split their shares into smaller units. So how do they do that? You will have your number of shares, which is 600,000. This is before split, and the unit price is how much 2. So when you multiply, it will give you share capital of how much? 12,000, 12 million. Now let's look at the split. What can you say? So they have what? They have their shares. The share is how much? 600,000. And the unit price of the share is how much? Is 2. And they said that they should what? They should split these shares into 2 or 1. What does this mean? So you should split it into what? Into smaller units. So here, this is how you do the split. So you will have what? You'll pick the ratio given, which is 2 for 1. So you pick what? You multiply this by what? By 2 over 1. So when you multiply, what do you have? You have 12,000 shares. And then you multiply also unit price by what? The inverse of 2 over 1 will be what? 1 over 2. So that gives you what? 1 cedi. So when you multiply, the value still remains as 12 million. So this is what we call forward share split. Now, what is the essence or importance of share split? When we look at the after split, you realize that the unit price of the share has now reduced to 1 cedi. So one of the importance of share split is that it increases the unit or the number of shares, and then it reduces what? Unit price of the shares. So when the unit price of the share reduces, what happens? It encourages what? People to buy. That's because the unit price of the share has reduced, or relatively cheaper compared to when before the split. Understand? So that is one essence of what? Share split. All right. So let us look at reverse share split. So the reverse, assuming that you have your shares, which is 600,000. Have your shares. Okay, the share that we are having is how much? We are already having share that is already split. Okay, so let me put it this way. So you have what? Share split, how much? 12 million. And the unit price is how much? Is 1 series. And when they say that you should reverse 1 for 2. Obviously, so when they are reversing it, the inverse is what? Is true. So when they are reversing, it's 1 for 2. But when they are splitting it, it is what? It is 2 for 1. All right. So once you have it, so how do you reverse it? All right. So you have it here. You have your share. That was split. Which was how much? 12 million. And then the price was how much? So when you are reversing it, how do you reverse it? So when you are reversing it, you multiply 1 for 2, right? That will be 1 over 2. Then you multiply the price, which is also the inverse of it, will give you what? 2 over 1. So at the end, how much do you have? You have it was 600,000, and here will be what? Will be 2. So at the end of the day, it will give you the same value. So when you multiply this will give you what? 12,000. 12, sorry, 12 million. And this one, to learn about what, to also give you what? This is what we call share split. Take note, this is what we call share split. Share split. Now, note, share split is applied retrospectively. Now, when we say share split is applied retrospectively, what do we mean by share split applied retrospectively? What it means is if you have share outstanding, example, outstanding share was as at 1st January 2020 was 4,000, and then you issue new issue was done on April, which is 1,000, and they said that in October share split was done at the end of the year. So let me keep it here. 2 for 1. Share split was what? Was 2 for 1. Required. How do you required? Find earning per share as at year ended 2020. Alright, so the solution. You can use two means to what? Work on this. Now the first mean, how do you work this share split? I say that the key note of this share split is that it is what is applied retrospectively. Example with the solution. So you start with what your period, your number of shares, you have what months, you have your adjustments if any, and then you have your weight. Alright, so your outstanding share as at 1st January 2020 was 4,000, and then you had a new issue. You had a new issue. New issue was what? 1st April 2020, which was 1,000. When you add it, what do you have? You will have 5,000. Alright, let me add profit to the person. Maybe profit at the end of the day was how much? 5,000. Alright, so you have it done this way. So you have it done this way. What you have to do is that remember, they said share split is what was done in October. And I told you that share split is what is applied retrospectively. So for that reason, ignore the date as given. Focus on when the accounting year that this share is what is going to be split. So here from 1st January to April, how many months? 3 months, 12. And then from April to December, how many months? Which is 9 months. All right. So apportionment of this shouldn't be a problem at this stage. So you have it. So this your total share. Your total share. So at the end, this multiplied by this will give you have 3 over 12. So this gives you 1,000. Now when you add it, what do you have? You have what? 4, 7, 5. So this is your what? The 475 is your what? You call it pre-split. Pre-split but wins. Pre-split wins. So once you have your pre-split wins, now that you are now going to apply retrospectively, what it means is this: when you are given split what to be done, you need to go back, maybe whether previous year's accounting or if it's the present year accounting year, with respect to the period when they were purchased. You need to split it as if like at the beginning it was like that, or it was bought in that number. That's what we call retrospective what application of the split. So the split is what? The share split is 2 for 1. 2 for 1. So what do? You say split. So share split. So you say the share split applied retrospective to all shares. So they're giving you this one to split the shares. So now you've weighted the shares before 750. Then you have to split it, right? That's what I mean by what application of share split retrospective. So how do you do that? You pick your what? You pick your four wins. Amount is what? 4, 7. Then you multiply by, you give it 2 for 1. It means 2 over 1. Do that. How much do you have? You have 9,000. So this is what we call share split. So you've weighted it. So now, if you want to, it's already been weighted. So you just split it. So if you want to find your basic earning per share, it is simple. You'll pick your profit. It is what? 5,000 divided by 9,500. What do you have? You have what? 0.526. All right. And it can also be done this way, alternatively. You just pick your period, your number of shares, pick your month, pick your adjustment if any, then you weight it. Okay, so you have your share outstanding. The outstanding share was what was purchased when it was purchased on 1st January 2020. And the shares, what is the quantity of shares that you bought that year? So here I can decide to do it this way. Excuse me. So create another working here. You have your shares here. And you have your split. You have your month here, your adjustment, and you have your weight. So what do you have your 4,000 shares, and you are given that this share should be split. So you pick your 4,000 multiply by 2 over 1. When you multiply, what do you have? The new share was issued, which was on 1st April 2020. How much did you buy? You bought 1,000 shares. Then it was it should be split, which is 2 over 1. So when you multiply, what do you have? You do the apportionment. So here will give you how much? 10,000 here. Now the month is what? 3 over 12, 9 over 12. What do you have? First, outstanding will give you 2,000. Second will give you 7,500. So when you add, you have 9,500. So this will gives you what your wins, the same as before you've done up there. You can now calculate your basic earning per share, which is what 5,000, 9,500. That is 0 point. So 26. So that is it about how share is what is split. So you take note. So when we say retrospective, it means you should go back because of analysis of financial statements. You should go back and split the previous shares that were outstanding. So when that happens, because this year the share will equally be split for measurement purposes, the previous year's outstanding shares should be split so that what you can do year-on-year comparison. If it is not year, but they are asking you to split it within the accounting year, equally you can go by what we have done here. And also when you come across share consolidation, it is the same as was share reversal, right? So you take note of that. So the moment you say share consolidation, they are talking about say, thank you very much.